Hey y'all, today we're going over a match from my first Jiu Jitsu competition. So this should be interesting if you're thinking about competing or just new to the sport in general. Some great takeaways for me that I learned that might be able to help you out as well. So let's dive in. So I'm wearing the white rash guard and the blue shorts. A little bit of context just as we kick off. I trained for about a year and a half before COVID. Took a 2-year break, and then I've been training for about 2 months before competing here. This was my second match of the day. Fought this same person earlier, and he dominated me pretty thoroughly when I pulled guard. So my strategy here is not to pull guard, to make him work for the takedown and just to play good defense. I noticed that he likes to go for head control. I'm just feeling him out. So I'm trying just not to give him exactly what he wants, do some grip fighting, and maybe work on head control or underhooks of my own. I don't really have a good takedown game, so I'm just trying to not get taken down and see if I can end up in a favorable position. So you'll notice here, he gets both of his underhooks and he does kind of like a sprawl, sweep, guard pull. I get super heavy in sprawl, try to come around the back as he turtles. And I'm just trying to stay super heavy as he's going for a single leg here. And he ends up just rolling straight into my side control. So I'm feeling great here because my strategy so far is working well. I ended up in a good position just by playing good defense and making him work for the takedown. This is also where I make my first mistake. I get a little too comfortable in side control here versus trying to progress to the mount. And as I adjust just a little bit here, he does a bridge escape, stands up immediately versus trying to pull guard. I think that was more of his game, like go for takedowns and avoid guard. And he ends up getting a takedown here and basically lands in mount. Another small escape. I think I needed to crunch my legs in a little bit more to protect guard as I went to the ground. So I'm here in mount, just trying to defend, not get submitted. Let's see, just looking at my notes here. Trying to create space. He goes into an S mount, which gives me a little bit of space. And I end up trying to turtle, end up belly down, which is no good, and immediately get to my side. And I end up in a half guard here. So I'm trying to just hold onto his leg for dear life, stay onto my side, and fight for underhooks. From half guard, here you can see I'm stretching out his leg just to try and relieve some of the pressure. If I can get the right setup, I know a back take from here, but he's pretty heavy, so it's not really working. And here I notice that he just gives me the space to go back to close guard, which I take because I'm more comfortable and it's just a more solid position. So in close guard, I'm just thinking about breaking his posture, not getting past. Maybe thinking about sweeps, but I'm also just trying to feel out his game a little bit. Here I'm going for sort of a Kimura grip, seeing if he lets me stay up on my elbows. And on the other side, I managed to wrap the arm and notice that posted, I'm halfway to a sit-up sweep. So I go for it and pull it off. And here I'm just focused on securing the mount, staying heavy, getting the points, and maintaining the position. Here I'm going for a bit of an Americana maybe, just trying to stay heavy, and I miss a great opportunity there to take the back when he goes belly down, but still end up in mount, which is good. We're resetting here back to the center of the mat. So again in mount, I'm just trying to maintain the position, which probably I should have focused a little bit more on attacking. He ends up getting a good frame on my leg and uses it to escape. And once I realize that I'm losing the position, I just wait a little bit too long and it's too late, and it gives him the space that he needs to stand up and go back into a takedown. I do end up managing to get back into a half guard here. So again, I'm just, trying to stay on my side, working for those underhooks, trying not to let him pass. And unfortunately here, as I just adjust my leg a little bit, he feels that and is a easy step over straight into side control. And you'll notice here that he just progresses straight into mount, which is a great tournament training because you get additional points in mount. So I need to think more about defending that and not just giving it up so easily. Here I'm trying to escape. Not really sure what I'm doing with my legs, but he's got a good high mount. He's squeezing his knees, and there's just not a whole lot that I can do here. And that's how the fight ends. So ended up losing in the last sort of 30 seconds just with that final sweep and pass, but overall it was a great match. A lot that I learned and a really great experience competing. Huge props to my opponent for staying in there and ultimately coming back to win. And it was a great experience. Some of my biggest takeaways, a couple things that went well. I think number one was making my opponent work for the takedown and not just pulling guard was a good strategy. So that's definitely something that I think I will work into my game unless I drill specifically pulling guard from standing or takedowns from standing, which is not something that I do a lot when I spar. And so I think just starting on the feet in general is a good takeaway, in addition to not just giving your opponent a top position unless you are super comfortable with how that might play out from standing. Second, I thought that all of my training in bottom half was pretty helpful. It was a very comfortable position for me and allowed me to progress into closed guard and just to recover guard in some scenarios. I think I'll need to work a little bit more though on some sweeps and other moves from there, since I do seem to end up there a decent amount. In terms of things that could have gone better, there's a few aspects. One, I need to be more decisive, and that applies in two ways. I think first, I can't just accept bad positions. Even though I'm very comfortable there sparring, I don't feel like there's a huge risk of getting submitted when I'm sparring other white belts. In a tournament, if you just get stuck in bottom side control or mount, you end up losing the match on points. It doesn't matter if you don't get submitted. And so I need to learn, one, to escape with a little bit more urgency, and two, just some other escapes, so that if my primary escape isn't working, I have some backups to rely on. This also applies in offensive positions. So where I feel like I'm losing the position, especially losing mount, losing side control, to either transition to another dominant position or just be on the offensive and try to make something happen versus acting reactively. I lost the positions in this match where I just waited a little bit too long, and my opponent was able to sort of take advantage of that. And once I'm on the defensive, it's really too late. The position is lost. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, if you're thinking about competing, would highly recommend it. It was really a great experience. I'm definitely going to compete again. Learned a lot about my game and what I need to work on, and I'm excited for future competitions and to see how it goes in the next one. So thanks again. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.